Hi, everyone. Welcome to the English to Takeaway podcast. This is episode number 23. My name is Richard, also known as the Grammar Goat on social media. I'm an English teacher. I'm a content creator, and I'm delighted to introduce my incredible co host, Mr. Jordan Page.
Thank you very much. And I am also the same as Richard. I am an educator, and also I have social media where I create lots of content about English. You may have seen some of it through English Lingo or English Lingo with Jordan. Great to be back once again. 2 weeks in a row now. Hopefully, keeping it consistent and touch wood, no illnesses.
Exactly. Great. Yeah, great to do another one. Yeah, as you said, a week after the previous one. It's good to get that consistency back, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. It's all back to normal, hopefully now, so we can continue that for the rest of the year, which will be good indeed. How's your week been, anyway, Richard? Have you had a good week?
The week's been fine, thanks, Jordan. Yeah, pretty busy, lots of work. A trip up to London, which was quite
Oh,
nice,
cool.
with work, and yeah, a trip to a big shopping mall as well with my daughter. My two sons are away at the moment. They're in Poland,
Oh, nice.
staying with my in-laws, having a holiday
Fantastic.
because they're students, so they've got their summer holiday already.
Yeah.
My poor daughter is like your daughter, still at school. So for a treat, I took my daughter up to this big shopping mall called Blue Water. Don't know if you've heard of it, on the outskirts of
Absolutely. Yeah,
London.
I've
Yeah.
I've been there. I think once. I think I went there once. Many moons ago, though. No, definitely not recently.
No, it's a nice shopping centre, nice mall, and yeah, we my daughter loves shopping, so we it's sort of two levels, and they're circular
Okay,
levels, so you just walk around in a giant circle. So yeah,
fantastic.
we did some shopping, we got some lunch, went for a coffee. So
Good.
yeah, it was very nice, mate. How about
It,
yourself? What have you been up to?
similar in a sense. We went shopping because, as we all know, kids grow so quickly these days that um, the clothes that we bought for my daughter probably 6 months ago, they're starting to become a little bit too short and things like that. So we got to buy other ones, new ones for her now. So yeah, she's growing quickly. So yeah, we had to go and do a bit of shopping as well, which not too bad. It's only 20 minutes down the road, which is quite nice. But yeah, other than that, quite a chilled out week. Really, it's been um, relatively, I would say, calm and comfortable in terms of the weather. It's not been overly too hot, but we do have a few rainy days here and there, and yeah, that kind of adds to the reason why we didn't really do a great deal. It's been quite, yeah, sort of, I would say, uneventful at the moment, just because of the weather is unpredictable. It seems to rain quite a bit. But I heard England is mega hot, isn't it, at the moment? Isn't it heating up?
It is. It's sweltering at the moment.
Is it?
We're basking in the sun at the moment, which makes a change. So it is very, very hot here in England. Yeah, kind of 30, 31, 32.
do
So
you do you reckon? Do you think that I mean, British people in England, do you think we will ever see air conditioning units in houses?
possibly, because I know, for example, in the part of the world that you're in, that air conditioning is
Yeah, yeah,
everywhere, isn't it? Extremely common. I'm not sure. I mean, what I would say is British people love to complain about the weather. So when it's rainy and cold, we want it to be sunny and hot. And then when it's sunny and hot, we want it to be cooler and rainier. So we
yeah.
do complain a lot about the weather, don't we? But I think, yeah, maybe as the planet heats up and global warming continues to take effect, who
Yeah,
knows? I was just going to go back to the point you made about your daughter and buying new clothes and new shoes for her because she's
yes,
growing quickly. It's crazy, isn't it? It's almost like when you buy your kids a pair of shoes, by the time you've driven them back home from the shop, their feet have grown and they don't fit anymore. Like so many
absolutely.
so many pairs of shoes I've bought for my kids over the years, and they've only worn them a few times, and then
Yeah,
suddenly what their right foot has just grown about three sizes overnight.
they've got an abnormally big right foot.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Crazy. It's crazy, isn't it? I
It
suppose
is.
you might also find as your daughter, she might still be too young, but is she becoming more fashion conscious and worried about what she's wearing, or is she still a bit too young for that?
Thankfully, not too much. She is conscious in terms of now wanting to match things and make sure that they go well together, and she's not wearing, I don't know, like a red t-shirt with blue shorts and like green shoes, things like that. Like she's conscious in terms of trying to make things look good together. But that's kind of like the extent of it at the moment. Not She's not too into like trends and like particular fashions, luckily.
Red t-shirt, blue shorts, and green shoes was my outfit yesterday, Jordan.
Oh,
That's
there
what
we
I wore
go.
out
Perfect.
yesterday. You know,
Yeah,
yeah, I thought it looked
I'll
quite good.
I'll tell her that that is definitely an outfit for next week somewhere.
No, because my kids are very fashion conscious, being teenagers, so they're
Of
always
course.
very worried about what they're wearing.
Yes.
So there's only specific shops that you go into now, you know, to buy clothes and shoes. It's
Yeah.
quite interesting. I think very different to when we were kids, to be honest.
Oh,
I remember
absolutely.
I remember when we were kids. Do you remember something I remembered the other day? I don't know if you remember this from school. Do you remember
Okay.
like luminous shoelaces on shoes were
Yeah.
really fashionable at one point, like luminous pink and luminous yellow, luminous green shoelaces. Do you remember
Yeah.
that?
Especially the yellow ones. Definitely the yellow ones. Yes.
Yeah. So I wonder when they're going to come back into fashion because fashion is very cyclical, isn't it? It all goes
Yes.
around, but
Yeah.
they've never come back in. But I actually quite like those, so I'm waiting for those to come back in so I can buy them
Absolutely.
again.
No,
Yeah.
they were really cool. Like I think at one point, like the idea of something being luminous was probably the craze, wasn't it? And I remember I had this incredibly bright orange coat that I wore. It was awesome. Like you'd never lose me.
Like a life
And
jacket, basically.
yeah, yeah, it was. In a sense, it was fantastic. Like I put it this way, I went to the football. I can't remember which match I watched. Now I went up to one of the stadiums in London. It might have even been West Ham, and on match of the day, you could see me because I had this bright orange coat.
Are you serious? You were on
Serious.
Match of the Day. You could find yourself in the crowd.
Absolutely, yeah. I was looking for myself. I was like, oh, there I am. Look, there's me in the orange coat.
There's something in this, Jordan. There's some content creation ideas in this. You know, going to events wearing a luminous orange so that you can spot yourself on the TV after. That's a cool idea.
Absolutely, it'd be brilliant to see people doing that.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Oh, I noticed that. Uh, am I right in saying you got a new tattoo recently, right?
I did. I did actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the first time in about 14 years actually.
Wow.
I got a tattoo on my hand. It's a My daughter calls it a fishy, but it's not a fish.
Right.
It's it's a bird.
Is it
It's
a
a
swallow?
swallow. It's a
Yeah.
swallow. Yeah, it's a
Aha.
swallow tattoo. So yeah, it was my first tattoo in, yeah, I think 13, 14 years. Obviously, got my sleeve done and
Yep.
got this arm done, and then I just stopped. So I went to a really nice tattoo shop or tattoo studio in
Yep.
London. Really cool tattoo artist, and yeah, he did my hand. So actually,
Nice.
want to get some more finger tattoos. I think next I want to,
Okay.
yeah, do some more tattooing on this hand. That's my
Cool.
idea. Have you, Jordan? Have you got any tattoos?
Yeah, I've got. Well, I would say that I have had 3 tattoos, but they are now all encompassed in one. So they look like one. But I I had them done 3 separate times. So I started off with a Chinese symbol, basically um, my star sign, and written in kind of like Chinese letters or in kanji. And then I went into getting like a tribal sun, and then I went to Thailand, and actually did this. I wasn't drunk or anything and got it on. I didn't get drunk and get a tattoo willy nilly. I actually planned. I wasn't stupid enough to do things like that. Um, I actually went to the and sought out the tattoo artist, and I gave him free reign to draw um, my idea, and I said I wanted it in sort of this region of my back, like quite a. It was prominent, like across my shoulders, but not so big. And then he went to town and started drawing this design, and it was massive. And I thought, yeah, all right, why not? I'll do it. I got it. So yeah,
Wow.
it was basically uh, Japanese proverbs, and then the waves, and then hibiscus flowers. So what I have now is I've got practically all of the elements of the earth. I've got the earth, which is represented by flowers. I've got water. I've got the sun as well. So it's all encompassed into this kind of one idea of a tattoo now. So yeah,
So what was the idea that you went to him with then? The original idea. What did you ask for?
I wanted Japanese waves, and I wanted a Japanese themed, because he was actually I think he was in Australia, and he won an award for um, Japanese style tattoos. So that's the reason why I went to him, because his work was fantastic,
Mm.
and um, I was open minded. I just wanted something that was very Japanese, but I was adamant that I wanted the proverbs. So I wanted to get those in there. Interesting proverbs: 10 people, 10 colors, which means that basically everybody's an individual. Nobody is the same. Um, and then the other one is about facing your fears. If you never enter the tiger's cave, you'll never catch its cub. And that's one of I would say, a very popular proverb in Japanese. So I wanted those, and he then drew it up and designed it for me. And it came out a bit differently to what I had imagined, but I liked it, and yeah, I just went with it. I thought it was great.
So
So
how much of your back is tattooed then? Is it sort of most of your upper back?
yeah, basically half.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah, pretty much like the whole shoulders down to about here. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's nice. It's quite a. I think for me, it's quite an interesting design. I always wanted to get tattoos, but I only wanted to get something that meant something to me. I didn't want to get
Mm.
I didn't want to just get things that didn't mean anything. So yeah, I decided on having sort of the elements of earth and things like that. I thought it was quite cool.
So did you get that whole back piece done in one sitting, or how many hours did that take, and how many different visits did it take?
Well, actually, the one, the biggest one, because I had the two done before. Uh, the biggest one that I had in Thailand to complete the whole thing probably was about 6 or 7 hours. I had to do it all in one day.
Oof.
Yeah, I fell asleep during it, to be honest. Uh,
So this is very interesting because I was talking to my mate the other day, my mate about tattoos, right? And he's very, very similar to you actually, but he's got his entire back
yeah,
is tattooed, Japanese style tattoos,
nice.
and he's having color added sort of
Wow.
gradually because it's like it's a project, isn't it? But
Yes.
he told me about something that honestly it blew my mind, and I don't know if you've heard about this, but have you heard now that people, because they, you know how nowadays everything is, people want everything instantly, don't they? I want this
Yes.
instantly, this
Yes. Yes. Yes.
instantly, like this. People are having a general anaesthetic now to get tattooed. Have you heard
Wow.
about this?
No, I haven't. No, this is crazy.
Yeah, so people are going under general anaesthetic, and
Yeah.
not just that, but it's they'll have multiple tattoo artists working on them. So it's almost like a tattoo buffet, if you like, right? With different artists working on different parts of this person's the picture I saw was someone's back, right? Crazy, just for me, just absolutely crazy. The risks involved in having a general anesthetic,
Of
and
course.
also like an anesthetic, not in a hospital, but in a tattoo
Yeah.
studio. And B, can you imagine like the pain of waking up and having
Afterwards. Yeah.
yeah, like your entire back has been tattooed. It's bad, it's bad enough, just with that, you're a little bit sore for a few days, so
Yeah.
your back is so
Uh,
I don't know, what do you think about that? I mean, is your mind
I
blown as well?
I think I think that's a bit excessive, really, to be honest. Like to go under and to yeah to basically come round and then you've had your tattoo done. That's yeah that's crazy.
It is, isn't it?
I wouldn't I wouldn't like to I wouldn't like to have that feeling all in one go. Like for me, I think again, people are probably gonna think this is weird, but even David Beckham said that the actual pain of getting a tattoo is sometimes very addictive for people. They like it, and I'm that sort of person. I quite like the feeling of it. I've never really flinched or I've never really clammed up when they've been working on me. I've always been quite sort of okay. That's that's an interesting feeling. That's an interesting when they're doing the shading and things like that. Like oh
Hmm.
that felt different, like um, but but I
that
quite like the feeling.
that's smarted a bit on the lower back. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, that hit the bone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've always kind of enjoyed the process. I can't imagine going under, waking up, and then that instant pain that it hits you. You're like, oh my god, like what happened?
Yeah, that's a lot of coconut butter as well you'd need to put on, wouldn't you,
Yeah.
afterwards? Oh my goodness, bloody
I
hell.
I know
Um,
that's
um,
crazy. Yeah.
Jordan, would you get any more tattoos done? Because that's quite an interesting question. Now you've had your back done. How when did you get that done? How long ago was that?
Oh So that was 2000. That was 2010. Yeah, about 15 years
Oh,
ago.
oh, so
Um,
we're very similar then. We're on a parallel
yeah,
trajectory, aren't we, with this? So
yeah, pretty much.
have you thought about getting any new tattoos recently, or?
Um, Not really, but I would like to. Um, Again, however, I would like to do it in the traditional Filipino way.
Wow,
Um,
what's that?
so so not with the tattoo gun. It's with basically bamboo and how um,
Wow.
they put it into your skin. I would like to try and get something small done in I don't know what. I haven't really thought about it, but I think that for me would be a good experience. I want to get something done in a traditional way. So yeah, if I did, then I would probably go for something like that. Yes, yeah.
Are there any places nearby that do this style of tattooing?
Not near me, no. If I really want to get it done, then the only place I know is a place called Baguio, which is I'm guessing here. I've never been there. Maybe 4 hours north of Manila. So yeah, I don't. I don't think it's something that is widespread and easily accessible. It's probably, unfortunately, maybe it's like a dying art in a way. But that would be the only, yeah, probably the only one reason why I would get one done. Yeah. How about yourself? Are you looking to get loads more?
Well, I'd like to get some more done on my fingers. I'm
Yep.
not quite sure what. Yeah, but I'd like to get more done on my fingers, and I'm not sure. Maybe for my 50th birthday in a few years, I may go for another sleeve on my left arm. Not sure, but
Nice.
I do love, the general anaesthetic idea and this instant gratification, almost, instant tattoos.
Yes.
I don't. That's for me. That's not the enjoyable part. The enjoyable part for me is like the journey and the project of it.
Yeah.
Finding a design and an artist and going, and if you're having a big piece done, probably getting it done in stages as well.
Of
Um,
course.
so
Yeah.
like for me, it's the opposite of getting that general anesthetic tattoo.
Where
Um, I,
where
yeah.
do you stand on face tattoos?
Yeah, that's an interesting one, isn't it? Face tattoos. Like, personally, I would never get one.
No.
For one, I don't think it would suit me. Um, I remember Mike Tyson was probably the first person that I saw with a face
Yeah,
tattoo. Um, Back in, I don't know when it would have been, in the early noughties, maybe.
I think so. Yes, 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 yes.
And but now they're getting more common, more
Yeah,
popular face tattoos, aren't they?
absolutely. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, the hand one is obviously hands are always on display, aren't they?
Yeah.
I got a hand one. I wouldn't get a face tattoo. No, I don't think I would. How about yourself? The Mike Tyson tribal?
um no, I'm not I'm not a face tattoo lover, to be honest. I understand that some people, they want to get them done,
Mm.
but no, I've not. Yeah, I've never considered anything like that. To be honest with you, even some people I've seen, like they've tattooed like the inside of their lip, um, which is really interesting. But I don't know why that would be something that is desirable. I don't really know.
Eyeball
Yeah.
as well. Have you seen eyeball tattoos?
Yes, I have. That
Mm.
scares me a lot. Like dangerous stuff to do. That's crazy.
That's gonna sting, isn't it?
Yeah, just slightly.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
each to his own.
yeah.
I may get one on here on my neck. I think they look quite cool.
I think yeah,
Sort of
like
behind the ear there.
towards the back, yeah, the neck, like
Mm,
neck, and probably like if you're going to go above the top of the neck, it's that for me. That's not a problem. But no, I think face tattoos are very dangerous as well. Like you're unfortunately you're always going to be under scrutiny, and there's a lot of stigma with
mm,
tattoos. And
mm,
if you do have certain tattoos in certain places, you're labeled um, in a certain way, aren't you? Unfortunately, I think maybe the stigma is becoming a little bit less nowadays, and we're seeing a more acceptance in a much broader way. But
mm.
I still think there is some stigma attached to tattoos, unfortunately.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. In many cultures there are. I mean, how did you get on living in Japan? Because I know in Japan there is still quite a lot of stigma, isn't there, around tattoos and
Oh yes.
associations with yakuza, right? With many tattoos.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
with your having half your back tattooed, um, were you able to go to hot springs and things like that? Because people are often not allowed to go in, right? Is that correct?
You're 100% correct.
Mm,
Yes. So before getting that final part done, I could kind of cover it up. It wasn't a problem. It was easier to cover up with a towel and things like that. After getting it done, there was no chance. There was no chance of me covering it up. So I took the honest approach. I was very honest with people. I just said, look, I know you guys say no tattoos, but you can clearly see I'm not part of the yakuza, and
mm.
um, you know, is it okay? No, I wasn't allowed.
Got images of you trying to get in wearing a wetsuit or something
Yeah,
like that, you know. So
yeah,
they didn't let you go in.
no, and it's not only um, places like hot springs. It covers a variety of different places. So
Mm,
I wasn't allowed to go to swimming pools. They refused me to go into swimming pools, and I wasn't allowed to become a member of some gyms because, again, if you are showing your tattoo, it's not allowed. So in the end, because I was very honest with them, I started to say like, I have a tattoo. I can cover it up. Don't worry. Like when I go into the changing room, nobody will see it. And they just said, no, we're not going to allow you to become a member. And
mm,
then I started thinking, oh, this is ridiculous. I'm being really honest, and I'm getting punished.
yeah.
So when it came to going and joining another gym, they asked me, "Have you got any tattoos?" No, I've got none. Don't worry about me. I'm good. Yeah. I don't have any. I'm okay. And ultimately, nobody said anything. Like that's the
Right.
crazy part, is that I was honest, and I got punished for doing so, and
Mm,
then I was dishonest, and nobody said anything. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to bother to say anything now. I'll just keep quiet about it. And I did have a problem once though with again, this is the extent of like how strange it is in Japan, is that there's a little part, like it's basically one sort of spike of a sun that like it looks like a sun ray just coming up a little bit out the top of my neck. And I was working, and you could see it slightly, and I got told off for like showing it to students and things like that. And I was like, really? Like that's I'm like, nobody, you can't see the whole lot. Like, I'm not, it's just a little tiny spike there. And yeah, they really, really don't want you to show any kind of tattoo. It's incredible. It's crazy, really. But
How about in the Philippines, Jordan? What are the attitudes towards tattoos in the Philippines? Is it more liberal?
no problem at all.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I don't want to say everybody, but a lot of people have tattoos. Yes. Um, Even like I know again, not being sexist at all, but a lot of the women have tattoos here as well, which is somewhat of a surprise
Mm.
because growing up, I didn't really see a lot of women having tattoos, and then coming here, a lot of women have tattoos. It's really quite interesting. They've got them on arms, legs, on their back and things like that. So it's great in that sense that it's more open minded, um, and less restrictive. So yeah, which is interesting in stark contrast to Japan.
Absolutely. I bet now we're talking and chatting about tattoos. I bet I've planted the seed. I bet you're gonna start thinking about getting a new tattoo.
Yeah, probably. I every time I sort of talk about it, I kind of get the idea. I'm like, yeah, I'd like to get one. Yeah. So no, I wouldn't mind. But you went to Japan a few years ago, a
Yeah.
couple of years ago. Did you get any sort of looks? Like, did anyone sort of look at your tattoos in any way, or were you okay with yours?
So because I used to work for a Japanese college for many years in the
Okay.
UK, I was well aware of the stigma around tattoos and
Yeah.
the attitudes towards them. So, like for example, when I worked in the Japanese college, I would always cover up my tattoos, even on a hot, sweltering day
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
everyone was wearing a short sleeve shirt. I would always have long sleeves.
Right.
Even for the sports day at the school, I would always wear like a lycra under
Wow.
undershirt, long sleeve to cover my tattoos up. So
Yeah.
like when I went to Japan, I was aware of it. Also, I was there in December,
Ah,
so
okay.
it was warmish, but it wasn't t-shirt weather.
Yeah.
But I did get in the airport when we were leaving. I guess I sort of relaxed and thought, "Oh, I'm leaving now, and it's an international airport." So I did wander around in my t-shirt, and I did go and order food, and I did notice the server like smile at me and then look at my arm, and just complete horror came over his face for like a couple of seconds, and
Yeah.
then he looked back at me, and then I think he realised, okay, actually this guy isn't a yakuza. I'm
Yeah.
okay. Um, so
Absolutely.
yeah, that was the only time basically.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you? But this is interesting because I'm hoping to go back to Japan next year. Maybe would
Yes.
you? Would you think that? Would you advise me to cover up my tattoos in Japan then, even though I'm clearly a Westerner and I'm clearly a tourist?
In terms of, I think in terms of being in public, no, I don't think so. Um, I think if you're going into a particular establishment, yes, I would probably suggest to, because yeah, maybe especially if it's a traditional place, like if you're going into like a traditional Japanese restaurant,
Mm,
I would probably say you're better off doing so, just so they feel more comfortable.
mm,
But I think, like, for example, if you, I don't know where, Disneyland, let's say Disney, if you're walking around Disneyland, like something like that, or if you're just walking around Shibuya, Shinjuku, nobody will. I don't think many people will care too much, to be fair, because there's so many tourists nowadays in Japan that I think they're probably used to seeing a few people with tattoos, and it's not. Yeah, it's not too uncommon to see Westerners, to see foreign tourists with tattoos nowadays. But yeah, there's still that kind of culture, I think, where people can be a little bit surprised and taken aback by seeing, especially like you've got a full sleeve on, right? So they would sort of be, well, okay, wow, that's a lot of a lot of tattooing there.
It's funny, isn't it? Because now in the UK, it's strange seeing someone without tattoos.
Yeah.
Whoa, skin.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like I was telling some of my students that, even police officers in the UK, you would see them with like tattoos, like on just walking the street or and things like that, and they were dumbfounded by it. Like they couldn't comprehend, like, somebody with that kind of authority having tattoos on display. It was very, very surprising for them, and I had to kind of explain to them that people see it as art.
Yeah,
They don't see it as anything else but art anymore. So it's quite a difference of opinion in those terms, of course. And yeah, I think some people in Japan are becoming more open-minded and accepting of tattoos, but there are some that are very, very traditional. And yeah, even so, even to the point where there was, I can't remember exactly the area, but it was somewhere in near to Kamakura area, um, along the sea, along the beach. Um, a local mayor, I think it was. I could be wrong. It was some government official wanted to ban people with tattoos going on the beach.
what?
Of course, it was never going to happen, but like they suggested it. They wanted it to like, yeah, no tattoos allowed on the beach. I was thinking that's crazy. You're going way too far now.
It was interesting when I worked at this like Japanese college, Japanese school in the UK. Yeah, first of all, I must have taught thousands of different students over the years because I was there for
Yes.
so long. Some what all of them wonderful, fantastic, amazing people and amazing students. But when we talk about tattoos, one student stands out because I remember when they would come over from Japan and they'd stay with us for maybe 5 months or maybe even 9 months. It was quite transformative for many of them. They were in their late teens, and they would go back to Japan. Many of them with really long hair. Some of them would put on weight because, of course, fish and chips and
Yeah.
fast food and the Western diet. But one guy sticks out in my mind because he got into tattoos, and he literally used to get every week or every couple of weeks he'd show me, and he'd have a new tattoo.
Wow.
These small pieces, like a yeah, small pieces on his arms, and I thought at the time, like, what are his family going to think when he arrives back in Japan, and they're
Yeah.
like, and they see him and they realize he's covered in tattoos.
And, and
Maybe he
they'll
was ahead of his time. I don't know, because maybe things are changing now in Japan, as you
and ma-
say. But
maybe they'll realize that his teacher took him to the tattoo artist
oh
and
no, the secret's out.
No. But I think what happens is that because Japan is very much a conformative country, in a sense, it's wonderful because there's a lot of, um, I would say, respect in society. So when you have a lot of conformity, you respect one another a little bit more, and
Mm,
you can kind of understand what other people are thinking as well. But also on the flip side is that because it's so conformative, that there's no individualism, there's no sort of expressing yourself in a way. Yeah, of course, recent years you've got places like Harajuku, um, which has its own kind of subculture and things like that through cosplay and anime, things like that.
mm,
Um, but I think when people do go to other countries, uh, they tend to, as we say, let their hair down a little bit and be be a little bit more expressive in their own right. And um, yeah, I totally understand that that is basically a byproduct of some students living abroad.
mm,
Whether or not when they go back to Japan they continue with their newfound self, or they go back to conforming is another matter. But yeah, it's I think that's probably one of the reasons, because there is such a lot of conformity going through your life in Japan, that when you do go abroad, you have a little bit more freedom in that sense.
mm.
So both are very good. Of course, they have uh, good points about both of them. But yeah, it's interesting to see people change in that manner actually. So it's quite fun
Oh,
to have it do.
definitely. Yeah.
Oh, awesome! Did you work at the Japanese college for a long time?
I was there for 17 years,
Oh my
Jordan.
gosh! Wow,
Yeah,
wow,
so
that's
very,
cool.
very long time. Yeah, very long time. So I've been to Japan for a holiday. I've never, like you, never lived in Japan, but coming into contact with Japanese students for so long, yeah, I've got quite a good, I wouldn't say deep, but I'd say a quite a good overview of many things in Japan and Japanese culture. I even started to, I guess you could say, I started to acquire Japanese. So I even started to understand a lot of Japanese in the
Yeah.
classroom, just by being immersed in it for so long. I could start to get the gist of conversations and things, which was really weird. Um, and I love Japanese so much. I love the sound of it. I would love to have the time to try to learn it. Certainly
Yeah,
not to obviously read and write, but just to speak and understand. I would love to do that. And
absolutely.
as I said, I really hope that I can go back to Japan next year, hopefully for a visit and to
That
film some content.
that
So
would be awesome. Yeah, I think I think the cultural side of Japan and uh, understanding some of the the subcultures that they have over there and things like that. It's amazing. It really, really is. It can be such a really interesting place to visit and to experience. And I totally get and understand why people are fascinated with Japan, because it is unique in its own way. And as I mentioned to you before, sometimes as foreigners, when I lived there, we had the phrase "only in Japan." Like
mm,
we would say that to each other when we experienced something that was so unique that we would never think about seeing or hearing or experiencing it in another place. It's like this is the only place that you would see it, experience it, whatever. But that's why people love it. So yeah, I can understand why it's so popular. of course. So
Have
interesting.
you got any plans to go back and visit in the near future, Jordan? Because you must miss many things about
Um,
Japan.
yeah, I think I'll probably give it another few years. I must admit, I do miss the place. I
Mm,
miss the convenience of the public transport. My gosh, what an amazing feat of engineering that is.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't say enough about the transport. It's wonderful. I think another part of me, I miss um, the variety of food as well. There's a lot of food that you can get very very easily. So I think I'll probably wait until Sophia's maybe probably 12, something like that. I think we'll probably wait about 3 4 years and then probably go back and um, yeah, it'll be nice to experience it at a different stage of life for her, and she can experience it as she's a little bit older then, and enjoy it a bit more too. So I think, yeah, probably in a few years I would like to go back. Yeah.
It's just, yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful country, isn't it? Just the cleanliness of it, the safety element of it, the friendliness of the people. Yeah, absolutely love Japan so much.
I
Yeah,
would
in
I would recommend, because you went to Tokyo before. I would recommend you going to um, Nara, which is near to Kyoto.
yes.
You can kind of do Kyoto and Nara together, really. But the deer in Nara are fantastic.
Mm.
They bow when they want food. You tell them like bow, and they actually bow, and then you give them a bit of food, and they're spectacular. They really really are.
I think that's exactly what we want to do actually. We want to go into Tokyo and then go to Osaka and then Kyoto. And I
Yes,
hadn't I hadn't thought about Nara, but also we could do Nara as well. So yeah, it's definitely on my bucket list of places to visit in the future without a doubt.
100%. Yeah.
As is the Philippines, Jordan. So we can go and get a tattoo together, right?
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, perfect.
You've got an incentive to come over now because
English, the English to take away logo.
yeah,
Got it right here.
that'll be awesome. Fantastic. Talking of takeaway, shall we go through the list of words and vocabulary to take away today?
Absolutely. To be honest, I think I only need to do one today because it's something that you said that I can teach it and then I can leave because it's such a good expression.
Okay,
It's amazing. It's probably one of my favorite expressions that you've ever said. Shall I do it?
go for it, please.
You said people you said people will often get a tattoo willy-nilly.
Yeah.
What a fantastic expression. So memorable, isn't it? To
Yes.
to to do something willy-nilly. So I think if you do something willy-nilly, doesn't it mean without really thinking very deeply about it? Almost it's
Yeah.
not unplanned. Well, unplanned, would you say as well? Maybe it's just you do
Yeah.
it. You don't really think about it.
More kind of like impulsive, isn't it? Like you're doing it impulsively, and you're not you're not carefully considering it, or you're not thinking about the consequences afterwards or anything. Yeah, I think when you say, because you can talk about it with money, like you're spending money willy nilly,
Yes, yeah, you
like
can.
you're not really caring about it. You're doing it without care, really. Yeah. Yeah, it's a fun expression to use, actually.
It's a brilliant expression. I haven't heard it for a long time.
No.
Often you come up with these gems, Jordan, these little expressions that are fantastic. I love it to do something willy nilly. So
Yeah.
If there's one, if there's one phrase that listeners can take away today from the pod, it's
Yes,
got to be that. Please, to
absolutely. Yeah,
do something willy nilly.
start using that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. Um, I like the one that you used for describing when it's very hot. Again, a lot of people will just use it's very hot, but sweltering is a great word to use when you are talking about the temperature being very, very, very hot. It's just a synonym that you can use, but it expresses your opinion and your feeling nicely. So, sweltering is a nice one.
Extreme adjective as well, right? So we would
Yes.
use it with absolutely, but not
Yes.
very. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Yeah.
right. Yes. Cool.
All right. Well, okay, another adjective that you
Okay.
used, a really, really good one. Again, expanding everyone's range of vocabulary. To be very shocked, you said to be dumbfounded.
Mm,
What a lovely adjective again. So, an extreme adjective, very, very shocked, very surprised as well, I suppose.
absolutely. Yeah. Perfect. Awesome. Um, and another one on similar note is again a phrase that we use, and you used it. You said when talking about the anesthesia, it blew my mind. Um, Again, to be shocked, to be surprised when something blows your mind. You're like, oh my goodness, and I wasn't expecting that. So yeah, again, similarly to dumbfounded, you can use it in an expression to be very surprised, very shocked, of course.
Nice. And you mentioned the anaesthetic as well. So, two phrasal verbs that you said connected with an anaesthetic.
Yes.
So, to go under,
Yeah.
so you can say to go under an anaesthetic, or you could
Hmm.
just say to go under,
Hmm.
and then to come round. So, to
Oh
wake
yeah.
up after
Yeah, to
an
come round. Yeah.
anaesthetic. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good one. I didn't. Yeah, I forgot about the second one, the come round one. Yeah, go under. Yeah, and then come round. That's perfect. Cool. Um, there was one that you mentioned, or we both mentioned, I think, in this case, and we use the word stigma when talking about tattoos. And again, this is an interesting word to use because when we use the word stigma, it means that we have a certain idea, a certain image attached to something else. Like it's a kind of preconceived idea that we already have thought up in our minds, and we attach it to something. So alcohol could have a stigma of you imaging a lot of drunk people. Tattoos could have the stigma that you think people with tattoos are a little bit aggressive, maybe. So that's where we get the word stigma, attaching an idea to something else.
Nice, nice, very nice word. Okay, the next one, it's another idiom that you use that I love. It means to relax. So when someone goes on holiday, for example, they would leave their shirt and suit and tie at home. They would, go out for some drinks and dress very casually. So they relax, they let their hair down. So it's
Yes.
I could even say it, even though I've got no hair. I could even say, when I go on holiday, I like to let my hair down. Could
Yeah.
I get away with saying it, do you think?
Absolutely. Yeah, no
Oh,
problem.
good, good.
Yeah. I think that's
So
perfectly
yeah,
fine.
isn't it? It's to relax, isn't it? To unwind and
Yeah,
relax and do whatever you want.
perfect. I really like the next one actually because it's one that describes the situation incredibly well. When you were talking about Japanese students going to the college and changing over the period of time that they were there in various different ways. And you said it was very transformative, which is a fantastic word to describe a change, something changing, transforming from one version to another version. And yeah, I like the way in which you use that to describe that kind of difference between when they started to when they were going home.
I think it's great that you highlighted that word. I think it often collocates with experience, doesn't it? A transformative experience.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, very good indeed. Cool.
Cool, 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 cool. All right. Here's another idiom. We didn't say it.
Okay.
Neither of us said it, but it kind of popped into my mind when we were talking, and
Nice.
I asked you about being in Japan and could I walk around with my tattoos happily in Japan?
Yeah.
And you were saying that if I walked around a very touristy area like Shinjuku or Shibuya, somewhere like that. Um, no one would look at me, no one would
Yeah.
be bothered, no one would care. So a nice idiom to describe that is nobody would bat an eyelid.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I love that one.
No one would look, no one would care.
Yeah, perfect. That's very, very good indeed. Um, and the last one that I have here is you were talking about picking up certain phrases, words in Japanese, and you were saying that you couldn't understand the entire conversation, but you got the gist of it. And I love that because we use it so often. When you get the gist of something, it means that you generally understand what is being said, or you generally understand the situation that is happening. You don't have to understand the entirety, the whole lot, but if you do understand the general idea, the general topic, then you get the gist of it.
Yeah, it's a weird spelling as well, isn't it? You wouldn't expect it to be spelt as it's spelt with a
Yes,
G. Gist.
I know.
Gist.
It's more of a like, yeah, you would think it's with a J, wouldn't you? But
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Lovely. Okay, let me recap then. So
Please.
my favorite of all time after 23 episodes of the podcast. Number one, to do something willy-nilly. Number two, sweltering. Number three, to be dumbfounded. Number four, it blew my mind. Number
Mhm.
five, to anaesthetic, to go under, to come round. Six, a stigma. Seven, to let your hair down.
Mhm.
8, transformative. 9, nobody would bat an eyelid.
Yeah,
And number 10, the gist. And I think some
absolutely.
really advanced vocabulary in this episode, wouldn't you
I-
agree? We're talking
Incredible.
B2, C1, like some fantastic words and phrases and
Absolutely.
idioms.
Yeah, like to elevate your sort of, your idea of speaking and giving a lot of detail, then these words and phrases can certainly improve that no end, really, really much. Yeah, to great avail, I think. So yeah, definitely they're on the advanced levels there. I would 100% say that. So yeah, lovely list. I think it's fantastic. Very, very good indeed.
One of the best ones, yes, I think, Jordan. I'm going to
I
try and
I would
use
agree.
willy nilly in the next episode as well. Try and get that in there. So nice.
Absolutely. We could try and just do it every episode. Someone gets in that phrase somewhere around, and the listeners can pick it up quite quickly of how to use it.
Perfect. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. As always, you can email us in to English to takeaway pod at gmail.com with your English language questions, so any grammar or vocabulary questions. If you've seen a news story that you would like us to discuss, something that's blown your mind in the news and you'd like us to talk about it, you can email us in as well, or you can DM the pod on our Instagram account.
Yes.
I think that's it, Jordan, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And yeah, please use the phrase willy-nilly over the next week. That would be perfect if you can do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Okay, mate.
Fantastic. Take care of yourself, Richard, and I'll see you next week, of course.
See you next week, Jordan.
All
Okay,
right.
bye, mate. Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.